It's time. Collecturbation. Good one this week. Uh, we've never talked about the Ramones before on the show, so I figured, what the heck? Uh, anyway, not that we need any more proof that mainstream listeners suck, but consider the landscape of the New York City punk scene around 76 or 77 and make your prediction about who you thought would become superstars. Talking Heads with their weird Caribbean funk and panicky vocals, Television with their minimalist space signal guitars, Blondie with the coos, keyboard stabs, and hand claps, or four mop top kids in leather jackets bashing out hot rodded 60s pop through buzzsaw guitars at 177 beats per minute.
Despite the fact that everyone, including critics, seemed to love the early Ramones records, believing that these four had assembled something truly unique and fresh, effectively kicking off the punk scene single-handedly, they were never a band that sold a lot of records. The world wasn't ready for them, and we proved it, stores opting instead for bloated platters like Hotel California and Barry Manilow's This One's for You.
My mom had that record.
The combination of speed and power, laced with a wicked sense of humor, proved too much for the average Joe record buyer. It actually took almost 40 years for the debut to hit gold status in 2014.
Sire spent a little more money on them for album number 2, hiring Tony Bon Jovi, yes, he is John Bon Douchebag's cousin, to produce the record. The sound is even more powerful on Leave Home, the power chords hitting much harder, the wet blanket over the drums removed, and Joey's vocals full and rich across 14 songs. My original copy that she carved fuck you into was the 1980 reissue that subbed in Sheena as a punk rocker for Carbona Not Glue, as Sire was apparently scared to death of a lawsuit from the Carbona Cleaning Company. So I didn't get to hear that one until years later. Just listen to this stacked production, complete with whoa-wee-ohs right out of Beach Boys country. It's the kind of romantic song you'd never expect to come out of the Burger King. So this is Oh Oh, I Love Her So. Okay, continuing on with Leave Home. I want to say it was 88, like summer of 88. That was the year I got Ramones fever. Spun the first 3 records, which were actually really easy to find. I just never got over it. Like, who's getting rid of their Ramones records? Anyway, my buddy that worked at the restaurant with me had a VHS of Rock and Roll High School, and he let me borrow it, and we watched it a dozen times. I mean, the Ramones had effectively that movie made about them, and it still didn't turn them into household names. I don't get it, but it's still great, such a great movie. I mean, remember the part of the movie when Tommy puts the "Kick Me" sign on the teacher's back?
That's cool. Where are you going? Going to Mr. McGree's class.
Oh, well, I'm happy to see that some students still are interested.
Or that meeting in Eagle Bauer's office. Fake IDs are down 50%, sir.
Ever since Togar took off, the whole school's in turmoil. Well, look at this. Fake IDs down 50%. Test answers down 60%.
Hysterical, right? Now, no disrespect to the other Ramones records, but Leave Home has always been my favorite. Tempos are way faster and more aggressive in cuts like Susie's a Headbanger, Swallow My Pride, and their amazing cover of Joe Jones's surf classic, California Sun, which we're going to play for you in a minute. We'll play a clip from it. It's like Do You Want to Dance Part 2. And of course, I Don't Want to Be a Pinhead No More. I Just Met a Nurse that I could go for. Forget Van Morrison, forget Bill Shakespeare. I remember sitting in my bedroom and listening to this entire album, learning to play every song in a single afternoon. The only ones that took a little time were the jangly ones like What's Your Game?
Apparently, the Gabba Gabba Hey thing came from some horror movie called The Freaks from 1932.
This is great. Get this.
The film's tagline was, "Can a full-grown woman really love a midget?" Can't make this shit up, man.
No.
Turns out everybody made it except the Ramones, with both Blondie and Talking Heads blowing up the pop charts, and Television was a huge hit in the UK. Anyway, screw the mainstream record sales. Let's hear some more 1, 2, 3, 4.
When I'm going out west down on the coast, when the California girls are really the best. And I walk, I never walk, I see, I never see, and I see, I never see, and I fly, I never fly. Wherever I say having fun, in the warm California sun.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.